Hi, Coach Michael here. I thought it would be helpful to explain why I do this 12-week deep dive mastermind into the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Well, about 8 years ago, I had a coach ask me a question. And she asked, did you ever read the book Think and Grow Rich? My answer was, of course I've had. She goes, great, how many times did you read it? My God, over 20 years, it had to be a couple of dozen times. I actually listened to the cassette tapes in my car on the way to work because I was in the financial industry. She goes, great, so you really got deep into that book. I said, yes. And she goes, great, so did you read the book the way the book was supposed to be read? I didn't even know how to answer that question. So the answer had to be no. She goes, well, if you read the book so many times, you know there's one of the principles is mastermind, and mastermind is where two or more people in harmony in the same conversation directed towards the same outcome, and only then will you reach infinite intelligence, the universe of where all the knowledge is, where like, oh my God, what a great idea, where'd that come from? So if you're reading the book, how did you master the principle of masterminding if you're reading it alone? Couldn't answer that question. Because great, so you read it a couple of dozen times. What's the secret? Huh? Secret? Yeah, the secret. I don't know, why? She goes, well, did you ever read the preface? Of course I have. Well, and I went back and read the preface, and 23 times it said, listen, be prepared for the secret. The secret is coming. The secret in every chapter. So I read the book a couple of dozen times. It positions me 23 times in the preface, each time I read the book, that the secret's coming, and right over my head. So then they asked, Michael, would it be okay if we buy you a course of how to read the book correctly? I said, well, it's pretty obviously I need it because I definitely missed something somewhere along the line. First of all, this is my original book, by the way. You can see it's a little bit worn, torn, pages have fallen out, so it shows you how much I really have read this book. So they bought me this course of how to read it with a group, and I read it with a group. And oh my God, I can't tell you how much stuff was showing up for me. It's like, I would compare it to the Super Bowl when they do the kickoff, where you see all these flashing lights popping in my head. And when I was done with the course, they said, so what was it like? I'm like, I can't believe I've missed so much of what was in this book. She goes, well, what are you going to do with it? I said, I got to teach it. If I've read the book a couple of dozen times, listened to it for 20 years in cassette tapes, and missed over 80% of the content and never really mastered the principles, I've got to teach it, because if I left that much on the table, so are you. So that's why I teach this book, Think and Grow Rich. Napoleon Hill spent 25 years of his life analyzing, researching the most powerful and successful people on the planet. And if you believe in the term, success leaves clues, that is what this book is all about. He took the most successful people and took all the ingredients that made them successful and created this book with 13 principles that as we study, learn, master, it will change our business, it will change our life. So I encourage you to join me starting Tuesday, February 28th from 8 to 9 Eastern Standard Time every evening and dig deep into the 13 principles of this book. So when the end of May comes up and you've mastered this stuff and you're applying it in your business, it makes a difference in your business and life. You're making more money, you got more happiness, more freedom, and you're thinking the way you're supposed to think. Success leaves clues. It's all in this book. Read it alone, you're going to miss 90% of it. Read it with a group, with me, and I'll make sure you get everything you're supposed to get. From 100 years of time-tested principles, over 25 years of research by one man of the most successful people on the planet, let's take that, leverage it, and use it for our better good. Hope to see you February 28th. If you want to get involved, you'll see right here at the bottom is the link. Click the link, takes you to my website, and it'll give you all the information. and what instructions you need to participate in this outstanding course. Again, I do this because of the value it brought me, and I want to transfer that value to you. And as always, remember, the best investment you can make is an investment in yourself.